Have you ever stopped to think about how the country that's often hailed worldwide as the beacon of freedom, equality, and human rights is actually grappling with deep-rooted hatred and division within its own borders? Is this just a problem of a few extremists? Or is it a social crisis born from centuries of complex history? And here's the big question. If racism keeps growing like this, where could America's future possibly head in the coming years? 39935. America's history kicked off with contradictions. On one hand, the cry for liberty was loud, but on the other, millions of Africans were brought in chains as slaves. During the 17th and 18th centuries, the economy was built on slavery, especially in the southern states, where cotton plantations thrived entirely on the backs of enslaved people. The brutal truth is, the American Civil War from 1861 to 1865 was largely fueled by this slavery and racial division. After the Civil War, slavery was legally abolished, but racism didn't just vanish. The Jim Crow laws kept black and white people separated, in schools, buses, restaurants, even in voting rights, based solely on race. These laws stayed in place until the mid-20th century, effectively giving the state its stamp of approval on racial inequality. Then came the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s, shaking America to its core. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and others fought hard, leading to landmark laws like the Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act. It was a huge step forward legally, but the mindset, that didn't change overnight. Over time, racism took on new, more subtle forms. Instead of outright discrimination, systemic racism emerged, where laws and institutions appear neutral, but their outcomes hit minority communities the hardest. Stats show that Black Americans get arrested more often and receive harsher sentences compared to their white counterparts. Police brutality has become a glaring example of this. Cases like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor exposed the ugly truth of racial bias within law enforcement. Studies reveal Black people are disproportionately killed in police encounters compared to white people, shaking public trust deeply. But racism doesn't only target Black people. After September 11th, Muslims in America faced widespread suspicion and hatred. Mosques were attacked, hate crimes surged, and discriminatory policies took hold. More recently, attacks on Asian Americans spiked during COVID-19, highlighting how crises tend to fuel even greater hate. Political leaders have played their part too. Some have exploited public fears and anger, using race and identity as tools to win votes. Hate speech, tough immigration rhetoric, and divisive us versus them mindsets have further splintered society. Media and social media have been major players in deepening this divide. Fake news, half-truths, and algorithm-driven content have pushed people against each other. The result? Less dialogue, more conflict among different races and groups. Looking ahead, there's a real risk that rising economic inequality and political chaos, combined with racism, could spiral into a major internal crisis. Inflation, unemployment, and resource shortages tend to hit minority communities hardest, fueling frustration and unrest. It's also possible that America could face intense racial riots in the coming years, showdowns between the state and its citizens. If trust keeps eroding, clashes between law enforcement and communities might become the new normal. Globally, the consequences would be serious. A divided America could lose not just its moral authority, but also its global influence. Allies might lose faith, and rival powers could exploit this weakness. Yet history shows America has a knack for learning from its crises. With educational reforms, fair policies, and responsible leadership, there's hope to heal this wound of racism. Awareness, dialogue, and justice could offer a lasting solution. This whole story pushes us to think deeply. America's rising racism isn't just a domestic problem, it's a global warning. If the world's biggest power can't tackle this challenge seriously, the fallout will be felt far beyond its borders. That's why this issue is so deeply tied to our shared future. If you found this video informative, real, and thought-provoking, please hit subscribe, like the video, and share it with others so these important and serious topics can reach more people.